Welcome to Get in the Garage. We're a music podcast.
For music lovers.
We have a new album review for you. And Alex, tell us what that album is.
Today we'll be reviewing The Nude Party Rides On. It's their third studio album. Really good album, I think, overall. We'll get into it a little bit here. Here's some background about the band. Like I said, it's their third studio album. They're a band that was founded in North Carolina, and they're a sextet. They've now moved up to Manor, New York, I believe, is where they have their new studio. Really indie rock, folky type band. They've had a lot of great openings for King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Arctic Monkeys, Cold War Kids, some Lou Reed sounds, some Stonesy sounds in the album.
Some like garage rocky, pedal steel, country vibes.
Yeah, they're currently signed to New West Records, which does a lot of similar things like this. They also have some Black Lips influence. One of their producers recently is a drummer from Black Lips themselves, Oakley Munson. Good band there, and we'll get into it now. So, Luke, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, we're going to go song by song here down the album. And Alex, what is the first song on the album?
The first song is Word Gets Around.
I like this song. This is one of the more standout things for me on the record. Alex came over here and he was like, hey, what is that thing? What is that like? Is it like a sample? In this song, it uses the Zombies' Time of the Season, like verse clap thing. Like, and it like puts it in there really well. So it kind of like samples it in a way, but not really. More of like a homage to it. So like this record starts off with old school 60s vibes right off the bat.
60s frat rock,
It's kind of got that like thing going on. This song is cool too because it's kind of like talking about like rumors at a bar, right? Like it's like two people sitting at a bar like talking shit about everybody at the bar that's like walking around and like living their lives throughout the bar. So it kind of like highlights the writing style of this album, which is less subject object, like person saw another person do something. But I really like this one. Also the Vicky Vacuum line. Did you like that?
Yeah. And one of my really favorite lines, how you mentioned, it's like people talking about what's going on in the town is how even in a big city, it's a small town and the word will get around no matter what. I really appreciated the lyrics in this first song, and I think it was a great album opener.
I agree. I like this. Good kickoff.
Moving on to the next song, the second song, Midnight on Lafayette Park. A little bit more love song, swingy, happy, sad. Really spacey vocals on the intro to that one, which I really, really enjoyed. But it gets into this real twangy, swingy, like bluesy sound. What'd you think about it?
I thought this had like kind of like 60s Stones ballad vibes, like right before they get like really psychedelic. This was another one that I thought was like a highlight. It was a great like ballad on the record. Again, more like on the subject object, and I kind of maybe wished it was more like I fell in love here, and it was like more like self-expression. And if there's like one kind of like major album critique I have, I wish they did write a bit more of like I felt this way at this time in this moment, like really more like a self-expression, adding in there to like really bring it around to like a whole and how you got like they're really feeling. But I felt like this song was really, really good and a great like modern rock ballad with some like old like Stonesy ballad vibes. The singing was pretty cool.
I really liked the ending too, where it faded out and it's like it put you in the space of being in the park with the sirens in the background. I was like, that is excellent sound stuff.
Also, shout out to like songs when you're driving that scare the shit out of you because you're getting pulled over by the police. So this one like high on the list there.
Moving on here, forgive me. I
shout
am
out
a physical note taker.
The Clash's "Police on My Back."
Oh yes. Next song is "Hey Monet." I thought this one introed very well. Had cowbell, which I was like, beat the snot out of that cowbell, please.
This is my favorite song on this entire record.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
Yes, I like it because it plays on that like 60s thing really well. I like the artsy Hey Monet, like using like the girl kind of like name in the painter. It's artsy fartsy. I really dig that. But the song is also really like tongue in cheek with like the 96 Tears organ sound.
Yes. Oh, I forgot to mention that on some of the other ones. The the keys.
Yeah, they're
such
like
a great keys player.
definitely like a 96 Tears, Animals, House of the Rising Sun kind of organ sound going on, and it's especially highlighted here. This also gave me like Tom Petty vibes.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, like when Tom Petty's like having fun and like shit kicking.
Yeah.
So this was actually my favorite song in the record. Really like the song Hey Monet.
And it was a quick song too, just about 2 minutes. Had a ripping guitar solo in the middle of it. I really appreciated that. Some of the albums we've reviewed recently have lacked some guitar solos and maybe some depth in those. So really, when I listened to this, I was just like, oh yeah, just shred, please.
Yeah, really cool song. Dig that a lot.
Moving on, our next song was Pollyann. I'll intro this one. Great harmonica, great bass sound, girl with like 2 boyfriends, like really about jealous love. Personally, was not my favorite song on the album. I thought this one, I was like, I'm okay with this one. I felt like I heard it already.
Okay, so I wasn't like a super fan of this one either. If you're gonna do the girl's name song, it's gotta be so creative because there's so many and it's been done so many times.
Yep.
And also they just did it like 2 songs up with Hey Monet, and that song, as I described like earlier, I liked it for all those reasons. And this one, I was like, this is okay, but it's not like, it doesn't bring you anywhere that like Hey Monet didn't. So like a little bit just kind of like filler, but you know, it wasn't terrible.
Felt filler, but wasn't terrible.
And it brought like more of that like country-y vibe into the
twang,
record that they're like really well known for as well. So you're also getting a little bit of that in there.
Yep. Moving on, my personal favorite song. I'm kind of in contention with my personal favorite song, but I think Cherry Red Boots is right up there. This is the next song. Midwesty, really country-esque, has some great groove to it, and like really fun vocals in the center where he says, where in the world did you get those? Just like speaking about this one subject of the song. I really enjoyed this one, I said.
Really, really, really great. I like that you pointed out, too, that like it's like the centered subject is them singing about this girl's boots. Very like Brian Wilson kind of lyrics, which I do really, really enjoy. It's like centered and obsessed and focused. Also, I thought this song, again, sounded a bit like Hey Monet, which is a song I really, really liked. I said a lot. This song has those same kind of vibes, that same organy sound. This song opens with the Be My Baby drum break. Boom.
Oh, boom, boom, okay.
It also has the castanets in it that are in Be My Little Baby. So I thought that was like a good like wink and a nod, and that drum fill is like a little bit different enough to them make it personal, but also wink back to Be My Baby, which was good. This was, again, like ties. This is one of the best songs on this record. Really, really great. Also, cool music video, like in the Spotify graphic of the girl.
I haven't seen that yet.
The girl and the boots on the Spotify graphic, where she's just like dancing. It's really great.
Okay. Yeah, I actually did not review the Spotify graphics.
You know what? Cool. I think I could like take a video. I'll put it up here. The Spotify graphic of the girl in the boots, so you'll see what I'm talking about.
Next song is the title-ish track. It's Ride On. Album's name Rides On, so I kind of treated it as more of the title track and wanted to see if this was a real sole purpose of the album, if this is what was coming of the song. Lots of oohs, lots of ahs about being in Mexico specifically. Had some great like storytelling lyrics to it, and of recent songs, it had a bridge, which TikTok, you killed the bridge in pop songs. Just want to point that out.
Oh, so good. I like the observations. Did you like the lyric of like, see, for me, I wanted like the theme like Ride On, like it's more of like you're right. It's like a story. They're telling stories of like other people's lives that are riding on, and therefore they are going to like ride on in the homage of these like people that they have met, perhaps like maybe on tour in real life. Maybe it's all bullshit. I don't know, but this is another one where this is like the prime example where I'm like, oh, I would have rather had like, this is a personal experience I've had, and that's why I'm going to ride on. Where that subject object, it seems like a bit of like a block at this point on like the third album, where I want more of like, I really felt this way in this moment. I feel like they were touching even this more on their last album and their first album, where they were a bit more maybe open to sing about themselves. But that's where I kind of like my contention is with this record. But not a bad song, just not my favorite like coming from a place. And again, it had like that like good like like the track wasn't bad. It had the kind of like
Yeah.
not Stonesy, but Grateful Dead. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
a
a
little bit
trucking
swingy.
Grateful
Yeah,
Dead
trucking
kind of
there
thing,
for
right?
sure.
So that's kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah, I think it ended with some great backup vocals in the song. You know, they told a story about meeting somebody named Juanita, and like the names in it were really good. Great point outs of that. But a little bit lackluster. I don't think it was a bad song in the album, but I think it spoke to the message they were trying to get.
Right on.
Yeah. Next song we have here is Tree of Love. This one opens with some acoustics, some tambourines, another 2-minute shorty. What'd you think about it?
This song the chorus is referencing the gospel spiritual Down by the Riverside, and so that's kind of like a cool like Pete Seeger-y 60s throwback
Yeah.
Bob Dylan thing, and so they added like like Down by the Riverside, and like they put their own spin on that and like interpolated it a little bit into their own chorus and added like new verse words. It's cool. I like this. It actually has like a great like country throwback, and I like that they kind of did like what again we've mentioned the Rolling Stones in this a couple times. Like the Rolling Stones the last time, like one of their first singles. This may be the last time. Is a cover pretty much of a Staples Singers song. Man,
Yep.
that one was hard to say. Called "The Last Time," which is based on a gospel song. So they took that and used it, and I think they kind of did the same thing here with "Down by the Riverside" and like added their own flavor and flair to it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say I really kind of didn't like it at first, but it really grew on me like the
Yeah.
more I listened to it, and I like this
I
one.
respect that.
Solid campfire jams.
Yeah, yeah, and that's one thing I do want to point out on the album. Great campfire jams, great driving music. Like I was listening to it really late at night when it first came out, and like a couple of the past days I've listened to it just to like get a good feel on it. And every time I just pictured myself driving to like our local beach, Misquamicut, like a nice sunny drive home, like the sun setting, and it just sets a great tone.
Absolutely, I feel the same way, Alex.
Next song, which we have a little bit of point in contention on, we got into it a little bit before we started talking about it here. Somebody trying to hoodoo me. This is a cover of a Dr. John song, Hoodoo. I loved this song. It gave me like this Black Keys, Jack White feeling to it that the album like hadn't given me yet. Like it had so many tones to it. This song had just like great percussion, these weird pulls that sounded like screams in the background, and I was like, wow. It's a longer song. I think it's like 4 minutes 48 seconds, this song, but it just gave me something the album hadn't given me yet, and I just kind of craved that once I heard it.
I can respect that. Here's my counterpoint. To this is this album's like 50 minutes long.
48. Yep.
Yeah, 48, which is like a bit long for like my liking. And this being a cover doesn't fully like get my like go ahead to be like, yeah, put that on the record.
Yeah,
For me, it kind
I
of like
respect that.
distracts a little bit. Also, I don't know how I feel about like the hoodoo thing. I just don't know like where I stand on it. It doesn't feel like Dr. John. I feel like is from New Orleans, and so like, but I don't know.
They have that southern swingy sound though, so I feel like
Yeah,
maybe Dr. John isn't the greatest cover to do, but I think it added to what they were looking for, because they have this like southern Midwesty vibe to it where it's like, oh, look,
See,
this is what we're getting into.
for me, I was more into like the 60s like crunchy piano infused with like the country pedal steel that was on like Cherry Red Boots, the earlier tune. So like for this, I was like, oh, I get it, but like I could have used without it. I would have liked it a little more trimmed down in the album. So for me, this is like the kind of more filler side of it.
Moving on, we'll go to the next song, which is Tell 'Em. Another acoustic, little classic rocky sound to it. I felt like when this intrusive thought popped in my brain, I was like, I feel like I heard this in an Adam Sandler movie or something. Like it was Tuesday's Gone with the Wind or something. It just gave me like end of a movie closing
Okay,
vibes.
that's a great like reference for the song. I kind of feel like that it is like Tuesday's Gone with the Wind vibes. Oh, right on, Alex. This is one of my like better, like I like the song a lot on this record. Like one of definitely the standout tracks.
Yep.
Strong songwriting on here, and like good like kind of like reminiscing kind of like
Yeah.
throwback vibes.
Good times, yeah.
I dig this. This is one of my favorite songs on here.
Yeah, it had some great fuzzy guitar in the middle too, which like my brother Mike, who you see on the podcast, which normally leads. I love fuzzy guitar. More of it, give it to me.
I like it as well. You know,
So
I'm
yeah, I
here
really
for it.
enjoyed that. Moving on, give me a second. I have to flip my page. I believe the next track is Stately Prison Cell. Yep. This is another longer song, but I would like to say it had great percussion. One thing, the drummer holding it down no matter what. Him and the bassist, really good job on that song.
So like from here onto the record, I'm like, this is where like it kind of starts to like vibe. Like, does it start to kind of like vibe drag a little bit for you?
Yeah, each song is on the longer side here. A lot of the opening tracks are shorter, and I think these start getting into the 4.5, 350 minute second long songs. So it definitely has some drag to it. I still think the song is good, although it's like,
yeah.
What are we building up to here?
I like the song as well. It definitely is like bringing those like Johnny Cash prison-y vibes.
Harmonica
like,
too, yeah.
Oh, the harmonica, yeah.
Yep.
The harmonica was really, really cool. Another like cool, and they play it like in a country kind of flair too.
Yep.
Like it's rocking,
Yep.
but it's like also sounds very country at the same time, which I enjoyed. And you're getting a lot of like different sounds from this band because they're a big band. They're a 6-piece, so
Yeah.
it's that was a cool point out. Yeah, and the song was I liked it. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I wrote it was take it or leave it on this one. So good song, but like we said, it did add a little bit of slowness to the album when listening to it front to back.
Chill vibes though.
Next song is their most popular song so far released on this album, Sold Out of Love. I think it's a great high point. Great different vocal sounds on it. Had some more Black Keysy sounds to it.
It doesn't sound like the singer on the other songs, right?
No, I think it did have a
Is it the bass
completely
player?
different. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure
I didn't look
either.
into
I
it
tried to
there,
look it up
but-
in the liner notes. If anybody knows, can you like let us know which
Yeah, please
member?
tell us in the comments below.
Yeah, tell us in the comments below like who is singing this song because it does sound different. It doesn't sound like the guy that's
Yeah.
like sings most of the songs.
And something I do love is Mac DeMarco, and it made it have this like Mac DeMarco sound to it. I was like, oh yeah, like this is like right in my wavelength where I'm really enjoying this song. I do think it earns its spot at like the top song on the album. It has a great sound to it, and it's probably going to be the most played song on the album for a while.
I
a little
like-
bit of love songy too.
Yeah, it's like a bit like love songy. Sold Out of Love is, it's been kind of like played before that
Yeah.
like play on it, but I'll let them pass on it. It has like some of the funkiest, most soulful stuff on the whole record. Definitely in the verse, especially. It has that like scratchy guitar and like really
Yeah.
funky, soulful bass line
Just
going
gets in
through it.
there. Yep.
And then the chorus is like that old style, like classic-y, sold out of love kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's real classic rock chorus on like a real funky indie beat, like a new kind of indie funk beat sound. And I thought this worked as like a good single. I liked it,
Yep.
but it definitely had a different kind of feel than the rest of the songs on the album, which
Yep.
was quite notable.
And then now, I just want to make sure we didn't miss anything. Last track is Red Rocket Ride. I think this is a great closer track. I have some good notes to talk about it when we're coming to an end. It's like when the clouds are coming in, it plays at I believe a higher key too. Has like some harmonica in there, good singing, good closing, and once again I wrote gets swingy, has a little bit more of that like down tempo swing to it, but I thought it was a good track.
I thought this was a really cool album closer, and
Yep.
again, I thought this was more in line with Hey Monet, Cherry Red Boots.
Yep,
It was like that kind of feel on the songs. The production was very similar to those. This also gave me like NRBQ vibes, not just because the word rocket is in the song, Rocket Number 9, NRBQ, but
Yep.
it also had that like NRBQ, like power pop, tongue in cheek, like Red Rocket Ride. It was like the
Yep.
vocal was kind of funny, and I really did like this song a lot as well. It fit more in the style of songs I liked on this record, and good album closer. It felt fun.
Yeah, what'd you think about the ending where it's just like this? It closes in this crazy bomb whistle, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, okay, I respect it. They noticed it's the album closer, and they put in that like, boom, it's over. I liked it.
That's why I liked it. I felt like it was like tongue in cheek, and they like
Yep.
kind of were playing with having fun with ending their record.
Yep.
And this song sounded like a good like kind of like a good like not like a piss take, but like a good
Yeah.
a good time like having like we're playing it and recording it. So, big thumbs up on this track for me on this record.
Yeah, so that closes it for our song reviews. Something else I want to mention about this is the band themselves gave them a lot of creative space to all the individual members. They recently bought a recording studio, had all this space, and they were like, we want to self-produce this album. They gave the opportunity to all the members to bring their own songs and really come up with this. So you can see there's just a lot of different things, but a lot of them are on the same page with what they're looking for.
Yeah, like
so I give them a lot of credit for that.
yeah, a lot of throwback vibes. That come together and a lot of like different influences that kind of meld in what is the Nude Party sound in a modern indie way, and I think that works really really well. I also wanted to note that they recorded 60 songs or something like this.
I didn't see that
For this record. I saw
Holy.
that somewhere. I think it was about like that number, and they like edited it down to here. So though me and Alex noted that this was like a bit on the longer side for us, that being like 50 minutes, 48 minutes, they actually did edit very much so. So very interesting.
Yeah, I can't imagine listening to 60 songs.
It'd be that new U2 album.
Oh God, don't get me started. But yeah, some final closing notes on it. I really want to say great percussion, the organ, the keys on it, the bass players holding it down. They just had like a great overall sound, and the guitar solos there was a few of them in there. I think there could have been a couple more maybe to pull the songs together. But yeah, everybody in the band was really holding it down. I wonder how they hold up in a live performance. I'd love to see them if they come to our area.
I have not seen them personally, but the videos I've seen, they are a really great live band. Like all of them, like up on the mic singing, having a good time. They're a big band.
Right, that's right. All of them sing. I'm pretty sure all of them do backups.
Yeah, so it's like a really cool experience, and like a lot of the time, like you see them, they're wearing like their cowboy boots and stuff, and like they look real fly and stuff. So, they're a pretty cool band.
Yeah. So closing us out here. I'm not going to start with this, but Luke, what do you think about ratings for this album?
Okay, I will give my rating for this record. I'm going to say that this is a solid 7 for me.
Okay.
I like this. I think I could use some more like personalness in like the lyrics and maybe a bit more like trimmed down on the time length. And I really would like if they like, I know they have in the past and they wanted to get away from this. Their past records have been very stylized. I like a hard stylized, and I'm good for like a stylized in a different direction than you've been before. But I loved that like 96 Tears organ sound. I could have used like a whole record of this that was like, but so I'm gonna say 7. I like this, solid vibes, great summertime record, and a great band. Like Alex said, Nude Party, go see them. I've been a fan of this band for a while, so that is the number I'm giving it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like it's their junior album. I think they have something brewing that we're gonna see here really soon for their senior album coming out. It's their third studio, so it has a lot to give to us, and I think when they really find that creative space now with their new recording studio and everything, they're really gonna produce something fantastic. I'm really excited for their senior album. As far as rating, I really grew to fall in love with this album. I listened to it the first time and I was like, oh my God, it's a long album, and really started to like get in the weeds with her. I'm like, okay, I started picking out all the songs, and started to think it was going to be lower on my scale, but I ended up pulling it higher at like an 8. I really love indie rock and some of the folky stuff. That's my thing. I listen to AJJ, a lot of like more like Pat the Bunny, like that quick funk that has just like hard guitar. And I think it just came back and held its own at the end.
You like Pat the Bunny?
A little bit.
All right. Right on. I didn't know that. Cool beans, Alex.
Cool beans. Thank you for listening. This has been a Get in the Garage album review. We'll see you next time.
Love, peace, hair grease.